Thank you. I would respond to the comment before me saying, thank you for guiding us. I would say that we guide each other. Thank you for that. When I put up lives, after I've put them up, you may not be able to see the comments. So when I look down, I'm looking at comments that you send to me. And I'm grateful for these comments. It is 1 week prior to Christmas. And I recall last Christmas, the various lives I put up. I will be commencing another course. I'm not sure of the name yet. A course where we will be exploring compassion in life in order to alleviate suffering. I will be running this through Patreon using Zoom. If you choose to participate in the course, you don't have to participate and have your face seen. So you have the option of participating and speaking or just watching without the screen. So that's up to you. Just announcing another compassion course, looking at how we demonstrate compassion in contemporary life and alleviate our own suffering. That will be run through Patreon. It will be starting soon. I'd say the next 10 days to 2 weeks, something like that. Hello, Peter, Tasha, Kenneth, KGs. Thank you so much for participating in this live. Aren't lives the most interesting forum? Because, hello, Sarah, we are all around the world, in our homes or in our cars or wherever we are. And this is a way that we can reach out and touch each other, engage in this surreal environment. I wanted to touch base with you to thank you for the hearts, to thank you, Peter. Thank you for listening to my sleep videos. I really appreciate it very much. Thank you, Jimmy. I find it interesting having a thought that I want to communicate with you and then receiving these messages at the same time. It's like balancing your mind across the different interests. I was saying that I'll be starting another compassion course. I'll be running it through Patreon. It'll be starting in the next 10 days or so. I'll be announcing more information soon. I'm writing again on Medium. If you would like to read my articles, I'm very grateful on Medium. I am loading on YouTube whenever I feel like it, perhaps once a week. And I load onto my Apple podcast, sponsored podcast. You can also join that to have an ad-free experience. And there is bonus content on Apple and there's bonus content on Patreon if you're interested in the vocals only and other bits and pieces. Aren't you lovely, Sarah? Thank you. That's really lovely of you to say that. I really appreciate that. Sarah's saying her wish is that amazing healers could be publicly recognised, which is such a lovely sentiment. Thank you so much, Gretchen. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I attempt to provide calming content because I think that life is full of suffering and I have experienced so much suffering. And I would like to do anything I can, Robert, thank you, to alleviate people suffering. I don't know how much I do that, but I endeavour to do that. And I enjoy being part of this space. I enjoy the engagement. I enjoy the to and fro. I enjoy the personal touch to it. We are all here to give to each other, to share with each other, to alleviate suffering. There is so much at the moment. If you followed my content, you'll know that I have a mixture of feelings about issues relating to alienation, family alienation, friendship alienation, parental alienation, alienating of race, alienating of age. I think that in recent times, our focus on the individual has come with compromise. And that compromise is that at times we negate or forget the importance of society. Of course, we can focus on society and community that we forget the individual. And there's been significant problems with this social process. I know from my parents' time, there were a lot of problems in the Catholic Church, as you're probably aware. And that was from focusing on the communal rather than the individual. Now I think we focus on the individual, possibly too much. Yes. What I'm saying, thank you. Thank you. What I'm saying is my exploration and concern with how we focus on the individual, sacrificing the focus on the community. There is no right answer here. Everyone's story is different. Everyone's narrative is different. But we are biologically social. And our purpose in life is to engage and look after others. And there's so many people now feeling alone. You know that I am a counsellor. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. You know that I'm a counsellor. Thank you, Kenneth. And so many of my clients have been alienated by children or parents or relatives. And I'm not saying that we always stay in contact with everyone. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. I'm saying that the practice, the consistent and systematic practice of compassion is fundamental to our humanity. I love Gabor, Sarah. Yes, Sarah is commending Gabor. I would also commend who else? I love Malcolm Gladwell, by the way. Seligman has written on happiness. He's very good. I love Gabor. I love Pema Chodron. Of course, Eckhart Tolle. And I've bought some amazing books that I will speak to you about. Yeah, I've bought a whole lot of amazing books on different areas, so I'll talk to you about that as well. I was talking about the practice of compassion, that every day we look at how we demonstrate compassion. Oh, you're so lovely, Esther. Thank you. I'm so sorry you feel deep sadness, Esther. Thank you, Sarah. So many of you feel deep sadness and you send me your stories, and now at the size I am as a channel, I just can't read all the stories. Dr. Coleman, Sarah is commending here. I might just write that one down. Dr. Coleman. I would like to have small group interactions, brainstorms, explorations. I will be doing that through Patreon. If you know Patreon, it's a site that supports creators. At the moment, I'll be running these groups. You can join Patreon, I think, for $5 a month, and you can cancel. So you can stay for a month and then cancel. I'm using Patreon because I've got a hair in my mouth. I want a captive audience. I want to know who I'm working with. I'm going to use Zoom. And also because I'm a full-time creator. This is how I pay for my car and everything else. It's mercenary, I know. It is what it is. So I'll be just starting that on Patreon very soon, working hard on that now. Wasabi. I love wasabi. Thank you, Sarah, for the recommendation of Coleman. I think that's really useful for us to use these lives to recommend books. With the internet and AI, etc., I don't think we're reading enough. And I think it's great if we can share books that we enjoy. And I'm about to get through quite a few new books I've got. I'm so excited about these books. Pete, yes, Australia is incredibly expensive. It's very interesting. We can't really buy a house under $1 million. I bought shampoo the other day. My shampoo is $50 a bottle. So it's interesting in Australia. I'm also very fortunate to live here. I'm very fortunate to reach the age I am. And I temper each moment by considering and being grateful for the moment. I'm rambling. I'm sharing about compassion at the moment. Esther, you're saying, oh my goodness. What are you saying, oh my goodness, about? What are you referring to there? I was talking about compassion. It's so interesting. So I've got this thought I'm going in my mind. I'm talking about compassion. And then I look down and think, oh, that's really interesting what you're saying. And when you play this video back later, you won't see all these comments. So I look a little bit interesting looking down every so often at the comments. Compassion. Oh, thank you so much. One's just donated $5 to me, which is very, very generous. I was saying a moment ago, thank you, Juan Jockey, so much. Oh, Esther, about the cost of Australian living. Yes, it's interesting. And people are not aware of that, yeah, a house is generally over $1 million. The wages are much higher. Let me see, I bought a cucumber. A cucumber is $4. A cup of coffee would be $7. But the wages are much higher as well. So it's all sort of interesting. Someone's just asked about my birthday. Yes, it was my birthday recently. I don't talk about my birthday on social media, or rather I question what to talk about because I want the focus to be on alleviating compassion rather than personal things. Yet, thank you, Nathan. Thank you so much. Biscuitech, and Nathan, thank you for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. 7 kangaroo bucks for coffee. Yes, but do keep in mind, Pete, the wages are higher. So we've had a very interesting time since COVID because with the lockdown in Victoria, the economy has imploded and there's been a lot of problems. So thank you for your well wishes. And thank you for your birthday. My birthday wishes to me. It was my birthday recently. Sarah, thank you. The rules of estrangement. And again, I'm going to write that down. rules of estrangement. I reckon it'd be great if we had a live sometime discussing books that we've read and we've enjoyed. Lives are so casual and a bit rambly, yet content is so finely tuned and edited. It's such a contrast. I like to think that I've given you something in each piece of content, yet this is so, thanks, Sarah. I had a lovely birthday with my partner. He's a beautiful, beautiful person. I'm very, very lucky to have him in my life. I'm very, very lucky. I've spoken several times about the next compassion course and other courses which will be run through Patreon. At the moment, they will not be tier-based, which tier as not in T-E-A-R, T-I-E-R. They will not be tier-based, which means that you can join up for $5 a month and then cancel if you'd like to do that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Someone is talking about losing a friend. Sonia, I'm so sorry, Sonia. I'm sorry about that. I called Sonia Sarah. I wish I could see your faces. I wish we were sitting around in a circle. I've talked to my friend about this. I've got this, my good friend's called Alison, and we were talking about, I am watching at the moment, the second movie, The Book Club, and I'm enjoying the second part of it. And they get together on Zoom, and I thought we could do that. We could get together for a meal or something and chat, have a casual chat on Zoom. And I will be doing that on Patreon. But it's just a lovely idea. How can we bring a closeness, bring an intimacy to our online connections? Oh, thank you. One Jockey. It's a very interesting account name you have there. One Jockey? Is that how I say it? Thanks. Thanks, Sonia. I hope you're all okay heading towards Christmas. I think that it's an incredibly challenging time. And when clients ask me, how can we experience joy or happiness? My response to that is that the way to experience joy and happiness is to help other people. Wide area network jockey. Oh my goodness, that's funny. One Jockey is sending me the abbreviation to the account name. I can't understand. Sonia, there's so much I could respond to that comment. There's so much there. Oh, I think particularly with Christmas heightens and contrasts feelings. We can feel so incredibly lost, alone, and alienated at times. And Christmas heightens that feeling of alienation. And Christmas heightens that feeling of possible grief. Yes. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. I'm thinking of all of you at this time. I think that it is so difficult, life. I think that life is suffering. I think that we as humans crave permanence. We love the fairy tale where we achieve the happily ever after, and we crave that fairy tale. Thank you. And the fairy tale is not real. It's not a world of shining knights and white horses. It's a world of alienation, change, loss, cruelty and unreasonable behaviour. And it's really tough. And all we can do is work towards creating goals for ourselves, enjoying simplicity, enjoying the garden, enjoying the sunset. This isn't a cure-all. This isn't about, cheer up, mate, it will be okay. It's about, I see you. I care about you. I know it's not okay, but I'm here. That realistic support where you see somebody, you see their pain. When people write to me, we obviously have an option here. If someone's experienced trauma and the trauma is traumatizing, it's not a matter of, cheer up, you'll be okay. But at the same time, we have two choices, sink or swim. And of course, the swimming choice is getting up, falling down, getting up, falling down. The choice to move through trauma is not a seamless choice. It's not an opening and shutting of a door. It's not a turn on a light switch moment. It's a process. It's difficult. It's 27 steps forward, 42 back, falling down, getting up, lying down in fetal position, crying, getting back up, being misunderstood. Thank you so much. Thank you, Priyam Mishra. Yes, I used to do ASMR. I don't really do my voice. I still try to use the ASMR in the way I record. I stopped ASMR. The main reason is my children were being bullied at that time and I wanted to protect them. I enjoy what I do more now, which is meditation with the injection of cognitive behavioral therapy into the meditation. That's what I tend to do, and I do a lot of counselling and supportive therapy. Yes, it's trauma processing and finding a way of, thank you, Jimmy, getting through is complex. I know you will know that I do so much short form content production. Short form is Instagram or TikTok or that sort of thing. And with the short form content, I'm just going to read Sarah's comment. Sarah had to drop out of uni. Sarah's talking about capitalism. Well, that is a topic I could say so much about. So many topics here that are interesting. We need to tease these topics out. What was I saying then? I was talking about suffering. I was talking about choice. And I often put on Instagram short form content, maybe a phrase, and people will take affront. They'll be offended by whatever that phrase is. There's always people that have hurt and they take it personally. Moving through trauma is complex, difficult, and when we come out the other end, we're a different person. So do we ever truly heal? Because the person doing the healing is no longer that person at the end. So does that person actually heal, or do they evolve into something new? I say they'd evolve into something new. Whether it's hard, whether it's tough, whether it's callous, whether it's brutal, we have two choices, sink or swim. One choice, swim, when we experience loss. Thank you, Biscuitek. we have the choice of moving through it, evolving. I like that, Jimmy, evolving. As people spectating or as people around somebody who is suffering, it's so important that we practice empathy. I think we've all had those moments where we judge. Remember, judgment is instinctive. So if we were to say we don't judge, we are in denial. We all judge. We need to judge to stay alive, is one of the strategies we use in order to assess safety and danger. So we judge. It's a matter of observing that judgment, and ascertaining whether it's appropriate. Gemma's just saying, what if someone has loads of small traumas rather than one big trauma? There's so much, Gemma, we can say here. And obviously in a live, you're not in front of me. We're not directly listening to you. And I don't want to undermine anybody's experience. Everybody's pathway is unique. Everybody requires a different strategy, process in healing. Everybody's experience is real, genuine, their experience. And I'd like to say more about that. What I'm particularly saying now is the importance of demonstrating your passion. Jimmy, I hate that empathy is being seen in this modern world as a weakness. Oh, Jimmy, I hate that empathy is being seen in this modern world as a weakness. Empathy is an ultimate strength. That is so much content around that. We are focusing, we are focusing more and more. Nate, you take care. Walk gently. I'm reading, planted a tree. When my brother died, I think I told you my brother took his life, my mother planted a tree. It's really beautiful. Yes, yeah. I love it when you interact with each other as well. That's really beautiful. What was I saying? I was saying about compassion. Compassion is the practice repetition. To experience empathy, or the practice of empathy requires repetition. Considering and repeating the demonstration of caring about someone else and attempting to feel their pain. It is so important that we go through life attempting to care for others. No matter what our experience, we can have a hall pass for a while when we're suffering. We need to constantly think, how does this person feel? What is their experience? Why have they had that experience? And how am I blind? How am I blind to someone else's experience? Our demographic, our country, our circumstance creates filters so that we have a limited ability to see others. It's important that we're aware that we are limited, not in, flagellate yourself, I'm limited, but to see that we do not truly see the pain of another person. Every day we need to constantly practice understanding another person's pain. I'm not saying throw yourself under a bus. I'm saying consider the pain of another and be very cautious. Everyone needs a hall pass. Yeah, I love it. As long as they understand. One jockey has written, I like that call. Everyone needs a hall pass as long as they understand that it's a pay it forward hall pass. Yeah, we all need to pay it forward. Especially at Christmas, we need to bring the affect down. I'm not one of those people for getting all giddy over Christmas. It's thank you, Sonia. It's a time where the lonely become lonelier. And people can get giddy with, I just think there's this part of Christmas and Christmas giving that's irrational. I think we should only be giving to people that are homeless. Why give to people that already have stuff? I don't know. That's what I feel. I'm just looking, how long have we been talking for? 40 minutes. Look at you talking to each other, guys. I just love it. And you're saying really nice things as well. That's really lovely. This is beautiful. It's kind of working by itself. When I upload the video at the end of this, or it uploads automatically, I wonder if all these comments come out. I do hope so. They're so really beautiful, the interaction, the engagement between you. I've announced a few things through this video. I'm announcing that I'll be running courses through Patreon using Zoom that I'm learning how to use. So I'll be launching a course on compassion. Yes. Yes. Feelings are intense on holidays because the thing about holidays is they're supposed to be festive. And the word festive or festival is about being really happy. And when we're really happy, there's someone being ignored. It's not about being sad, it's about seeing, being open, listening, questioning, and knowing that we have a blindness to others. Keep looking at ways to open up to this blindness. Thanksgiving. It's interesting, isn't it? Because so many of my Sarah viewers celebrate Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is a festivity for Americans. So, yeah, be thankful for what we have and give care as a gift. Yeah, I honestly think that, yeah, we each should take the time to sit with someone who's homeless and ask them about their story and care, not do it as some sort of token thing to do, but really care. There is 6 degrees of separation separating us from someone who is homeless. And the various experiences I've had in my life have taught me that our life can turn on a dime. On a dime. Like ice skates, we go through life and the ice skates can just flip us over and we can be on our back in an instant. So let's be humble. Let's be consciously vulnerable. And let's reach out. Let's say, what can I do to support you? What can I do to support you? What can I do to support you? Estrangement around Christmas is painful. It's incredibly painful. If you experience estrangement, I feel so deeply for you. It's become quite prolific in this society. We've become quite hedonistic, quite capitalist, driving around in our red shiny cars. I'm embarrassed to say I have a red shiny car. Driving around in our red shiny cars, focusing on consuming, collecting, and negating and blocking. Consuming, collecting, negating, and blocking. I'm not saying we don't block. I'm not saying we don't withdraw from relationships. But remember the porcupine story. The porcupines that got together, hibernated in the winter, and they pricked each other. So they decided to hibernate separately and they died. We're always going to ruffle each other's feathers. We're always going to have different values and see things differently. It doesn't mean we abandon each other. We need to respect our elders. Sometimes our elders can make mistakes, whatever they are. I'm not going to look at the various mistakes. They can make mistakes. Let's include family. Yeah. Let's include family. Let's care. Let's reach out, resolve, mediate, negotiate, solve. I love those words. Mediate, negotiate, solve, resolve. Start again. Mediate, negotiate, solve, resolve. I could do a whole video just repeating those words. And I know there'll be someone there listening saying, but you don't know my situation. I need to cut off from A, B, and C. Yeah, I get that. It needs to be an absolute last resort. If you have been estranged, alienated, excluded, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Because you matter. You count. You have worth. When you walk through Christmas, this Christmas, try if you can not to be pulled in with the bedlam, pulled in by the bedlam, the mania, the chaos. So it's not real. It's not real. Sometimes life can be incredibly unfair, but there's still beauty. There's still beauty in the sunset. Sonia, I'm reading your messages. I am so sorry. And I agree with you. I agree with you. There's so much I'd like to say about that topic. I have been speaking to you all now for 38 minutes, so I'll go in a moment. Again, I ask you to consider following me on Patreon for a number of reasons. Thank you to those of you who do follow me. Thank you very much for your donations. They keep me going. Thank you. Hello, Papa. They keep me going. I will be introducing courses, lives, and Zoom meets on Patreon, announced over the next few days. I'm announcing them now. Take care of yourself. Try to look down upon the bedlam rather than being involved within it. You have the ability to be okay. Okay isn't amazing. Okay is okay. Thank you, Papa. I'm going to go now. I endeavour to do more lives. Thank you, everyone. You take care of yourself. And I love this little thing we've got going in the comments with you supporting each other. It's really, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Esther. It's really beautiful. Let's take a moment to breathe, to pray to our conscious self. You can say with me if you like, I am okay. Through the adversity, through the suffering, through the change, I am okay, I will be okay. Being okay may not mean being blissful or euphoric. Being okay means resilient, strong, forgiving, compassionate. I am okay, I matter. Breathe. Breathe. Thank you, everyone. Good night. I'll speak to you again.